ghetto youth, unstoppable, runaway train. Everything fence, every lane. Me a aim for the sky.
Before dancehall was a household name, one man brought it to the world stage. In 1992, Shabba Ranks made history as the first dancehall artist to win a Grammy Award.
Dancehall is not just music. Dancehall is culture. Dancehall is rebellion. Dancehall is survival. And dancehall is also competition. From sound system clashes to stage shows, from ghetto corners to global arenas, dancehall has always been about who can stand the pressure. Many artists have had hits. Many artists have had moments, but only a few have changed the direction of the genre. This video is not about popularity alone, not about streaming numbers, and it's also not about social media hype. This video is about impact. This is about artists who shifted the culture, artists who influenced the generations, artists who survived multiple eras, and artists who still remain part of this conversation. These 5 names are not perfect, but they are controversial. They are flawed and may often be polarizing. But greatness in dancehall was never meant to be clean.
Yo, one know this here dancehall, link Entourage Records. One know the talk I turn in dancehall, link Entourage Records. Your Entourage, they meet you know it from man, your ruggedness.
Bless up, and welcome back to Entourage Records. You're new via here, please consider subscribing. Turn on your post notification bell so whenever I make a new upload, you can be the first to be notified. In this video, I am going to talk about the 5 greatest dancehall artists in history, but in no chronological order. But before Buju Banton, dancehall had rules. Certain flows were acceptable. Certain subject matter dominated dancehall. Certain voices also got through. But Buju kicked down the gate. Buju changed the whole of that. Buju brought a different sound, a different mind. When Buju Banton just arrived on the scene, many people were saying he sounded like Shabba, but Buju had a different voice. His voice was raw. His delivery was aggressive. His lyrics layered. Buju started to do many things in dancehall that wasn't done before, or if it was done before, it wasn't recognized as much as how Buju do it. Buju introduced similes. Buju introduced metaphors. Buju introduced wordplay that fell closer to spoken poetry than party music. He wasn't just chatting pan rhythm. He was communicating ideas, and this was fairly new to enough people in a dancehall, and this brought Buju immediate dominance. But Buju didn't slowly rise, he exploded. Hits after hits after hits. Number 1 stacked up fast. The crowd instantly connected to Buju Banton. He became the voice of the streets, but also the voice of the intellect and the voice of reflection. That duality was rare back in those days. Most artists dreamed of reaching the top, but after Buju reached the top, Buju shocked dancehall with a decision. Instead of milking dancehall dominance, Buju pivoted and decided say he might go start do conscious music. That might have made a lot of people upset because they really loved Buju and he was on top of the game. But Buju decided that he wanted his music to have longevity. That move confused many people, angered some, but it did cement his legacy because Buju showed many dancehall artists they could evolve without apologizing. So Buju earned his name on this top 5 list because he changed lyrical expectations. Buju proved depth could still sell. Buju broke records chart early. and Buju expanded what dancehall artists were allowed to be. Without Buju, the lane for deeper storytelling in dancehall might not have existed. The next artist on the list of the 5 greatest dancehall artists in history, and as I said in no chronological order, is Shabba Ranks. And Shabba Ranks was known or is known as the global blueprint. Shabba Ranks didn't just succeed, he redefined the ceiling. Before Shabba Ranks, dancehall artists were just local heroes in Jamaica. After Shabba, they were global royalty. Shabba was the first dancehall artist to win a Grammy, and he just didn't win one, he won back to back. And that alone changed the perception forever. Dancehall was no longer a side genre to reggae, it was award worthy. When Shabba Ranks touched a stage, the reaction was immediate. He was larger than life. Being present alone demanded attention. Shabba taught artists that image matters. He taught artists that confidence sells, and he also taught artists that you can be bigger than the music. Shabba made dancehall aspirational, and this is one of the reasons why Shabba had to be one of the top 5 greatest dancehall artists in history, because he took dancehall global. He broke award barriers. He elevated the business mindset, and he showed artists they could command respect worldwide. Shabba Ranks didn't just open doors, he kick off the inches them. The next artist on the list of the 5 greatest artists in dancehall history is none other than Bounty Killer, the general, the enforcer. If dancehall was a battlefield, Bounty Killer would have been the general. Killer represents discipline, standards, and resistance. Before Bounty Killer, many artists entertained. Bounty charged and showed artists how to charge for them work. Him teach artists how to attack one stage. Him teach them how to command respect, and him teach them how to demand them value. And with that said, Bounty Killer also revolutionized sound clash culture. After him, if a sound didn't have 10 plus Bounty dub plates, them never really in a one competition. Them not competitive in the dance, because most of the people them want to hear the sound system them with a Bounty Killer dub plates. Him turn dub plates in our status symbols, in our revenue streams and cultural weapons. Bounty Killer appointed himself as the poor people governor. He positioned himself as the protector of the culture, the voice of the ghetto, and the enforcer of accountability. Him did never afraid to check what artist, big or small, if him feel like you're forward out of line. That made Bounty Killer controversial but respected, and why Killer have to be in a top 5 dancehall artists in history, because him defined stage aggression. Killer created economic standards. Killer mentored a generation of artists, and Killer policed the culture when needed. Dancehall without Bounty Killer would be less disciplined and less competitive. The next artist on the list of the 5 greatest artists of all time in dancehall history is Beenie Man. And Beenie Man is known as the king of consistency. So if longevity were a crown, Beenie Man would have worn it comfortably. After Buju Banton set early benchmarks, Beenie Man rewrote it with the history books, and we are talking about #1 songs in a Jamaica. That Bob Marley something there, where Buju went break first, Beenie Man forward and break it as well. So we are talking about chart, longevity, and multi-decade of relevance. Few artists in any genre can match that. Beenie Man is arguably the greatest live performer in dancehall history. Nobody never said that before. The only person that we might have compared him with is the general tiger, because Beenie Man always followed the energy. Beenie Man always found good timing and good crowd engagement. He doesn't perform at people, he perform with them. Even when Beenie Man don't have a hit, no chart topper, Beenie Man still find ways to remain relevant. And that's strategic intelligence. Beenie Man understand branding, him understand timing, and him understand the culture of dancehall. And why he's top 5? Because Beenie Man represents longevity. Beenie Man represents adaptability. Beenie Man represents performance excellence. He never needed one era, he dominated many. The next artist on the list of the 5 greatest artists in dancehall history is none other than the world boss, the teacher, Vybz Kartel, in which Vybz Kartel is known as the movement. Vybz Kartel forward after many legends, but when him forward in the game, him refused to bow. Him forward with a style ahead in time. Kartel's early sound was probably a little bit faster, more raw, and more conversational, where dancehall had to catch up to him. He had this raw authenticity with no filter, no polish, no compromise. Many people might have refused it at first, but Kartel sounded like real life. That honesty made him magnetic, and this was where he had the women effect, because Kartel understood women early. And once the woman them connect to an artist, the culture follows. And this was the direction where the club's gonna go, this was where the trend's gonna go, and this was where he was gathering momentum. And Kartel became a movement, not just a career. Kartel influenced fashion. Kartel influenced slang. Kartel influenced youth behavior, and Kartel also influenced musical direction. So artists didn't just copy his sound, they copy his mindset. And this is why Kartel is one of the greatest dancehall artists in history, because Kartel shifted the culture, Kartel dominated an era, and Kartel remained relevant under impossible circumstances. And Kartel changed how dancehall moves. Even beyond the bars and those 13 years where Kartel was away from dancehall, he remained relevant. These 5 artists represent different pillars of greatness in a dancehall, because Buju brought down the gates, Shabba globalized the genre. Bounty enforced standards, Beenie Man mastered longevity, Vybz Kartel became a movement. They are not perfect, but greatness in dancehall was never about perfection. It was about impact under pressure. If you remove any one of these dancehall artists, the history changes. That's why these 5 stand above the rest as the greatest artists of all time. Enough people might say these are opinions, but other people might say this is a fact. Viewers and subscribers, won't leave a thoughts on the comment section so we can talk about it. We've come to the end of another video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, those who have done so as yet. Also, please turn on your post notification bell so whenever I make a new upload, you can be the first to be notified. Peace out, bless up, I'll definitely catch you in the next one.